Hi, in this video, I'm going to explain you how you can send push notifications between two applications. You can even send push notifications from a cloud process or, for example, for a cron job. But to keep it simple, we are going to send a notification from one application to another application. To send push notifications between applications, just be sure that both applications are inside the same project. Okay, so we are working with an application A and an application B. The application A is the application from the customer, well, from the user who is going to receive the push notification, and the application B is much simple, just to send the push notification to the other one. Okay, so to start, we need to be sure that the user is logging in the application who is going to receive the push notification, because we need to identify what is the user who is going to receive the notification. So let's start. We need to have a login in some place in the application. It can be a login with email, with Facebook, with Apple, with Google. Doesn't matter. Just we need to be sure that the user has a session on the application. So after a successful login, I'm going to redirect the user to replace the screen and send the user to the step number 2. Okay, on the step number 2, we are going to request the permission. This usually happens after the user install the application and create a new account, for example. And this step is where you explain the user why you need permissions to send notifications. For example, if it's an application for delivery, on this step, you explain that you need permission to receive the updates about the order or whatever is necessary. Okay, it's a good practice to explain the user why you need the permission before ask for the permission to have a higher rate of approval of permissions. Okay, so to request permission, we're going to add also an event on press to request the permissions, and we're going to use the request permission function. You can find this on the push notification request permission, or you can search for this function here. Okay, so it requests permission. And after, when you request permission, you will see this message on the phone with the name of the application. In this case, you see Apphive, since I am testing the application on the previewer. But once the application is published, you will see the name of your application. Would like to send you notifications, and they can allow or don't allow. They only see this message the first time after they install the application. Later, if they want to update the notification preferences, they need to go to the phone settings. Okay, so the first time I'm going to allow, and with this function, you can know if they allow or not to receive push notifications. You will receive an error if they don't allow to receive notifications. You can even have this function on the, imagine that you have your home page on your application. You can have this function on the onload of your application to request permissions, just to be sure that the user still have or not permissions to receive push notifications. If they don't allow anymore to receive push notifications, you can do, well, what you want. For example, you can send them a toast notification or redirect them to another page to explain why you need to send them push notification. If they already have permissions, you don't need to do anything. it's okay. So you already have the permissions, okay? So this is an example. In this case, I'm going to request the permissions, and after is success, I'm going to redirect the user to another screen. For example, let's send them to the home screen, okay? So imagine this is a simple flow to a new application. No? You enter to the application, login user your account, and then you are redirected to this other screen, request permission. I don't receive the notification for request permission since I already give the application permissions. Okay, so I don't. I'm not going to receive another request for permissions if I already give them permission. Okay, so how do you know that there are users that already have permissions? If you go to the dashboard, to the members, to the members, I'm going to reload here. Yeah, you will see the user, the ID of the user, and you will see this green indicator that it means that this user allowed to receive push notification. If you see this indicator on red, it means that don't allow to receive push notifications, at least the first time, because after the first time allowing to receive push notifications, they can update the settings on the phone and don't allow to receive notifications, and you will see this indicator on green because they allow the first time, okay? So after this, you need to create a process on this application, because when we send push notification from the other application to this application, after you press this notification, you need to decide what is going to happen. For example, if you use the push notification to promote a specific product, so when they press the notification, you need to redirect the user to a page to show what is the product you are promoting, or if as a special offer, also redirect the user to the offer, or even, for example, if you send a push notification because they receive a new message, when they press this push notification, you can redirect the user to the page where are all the messages, okay? So how you can decide what is going to happen when they press the push notification? This is going to happen inside this process, okay? For example, redirect the user. I'm going to create just a simple process to redirect the user, okay? And you can do wherever you want. For example, you can save something in the database, get something from the database, wherever you want after they press the push notification. In this case, I'm going to keep it simple and just replace the screen and send to the step 3 is the name of my page. Okay, I have a page called step 3. Okay, you can decide if you want a transition or if you don't need it, it's okay. Okay, this is the process that is going to be executed after they press the notification. They receive the notification on the phone, and when they press it, this is going to happen. Okay, so you need to have a process to what is going to happen when they press the notification. And the second step is in the application B. The application B is where we are going to send the push notification to the other user. Okay, we're going to add just a button, but this is usual inside a process. For example, when you send a message or when you I don't know, when you want to notify many users, well, you can do it inside a process, okay? But to keep it simple, I'm only sending a simple notification when I'm pressing this button, okay? For example, I'm going to add the function send push, and imagine that I want a field. I'm going to add a field with the message, and another field with the title. I'm going to rename this field, the control name for title, and this for message. Okay, so we have the button to send the notification. We have a field for the message and another field for the title. Okay, and what is going to happen when I press this button? Okay, this is a function to send the push notification, send push. And in this function, you need the body. The body is the body in the message you are sending. So I'm going to read this body from the entry bars from the message. It means that what I write here is going to be sent to the other users. Also, you have the title here. So I'm going to send, this is the title and this is the body. I need to select what is the app that is going to receive this message. I can send this push notification to the same application or to other application, but needs to be inside the same project. So in this case, I'm going to send the push notification to the other application. And what is the process that will be executed when they press this push notification? So I'm selecting this process that we just created. Okay, you have another options. For example, you have send to all. If I enable send to all, the push notification will be sent to all the users who allow to receive notifications in the application A or in the application I decide. No? If I don't enable send to all, I need to specify what is the email or the user ID who is going to receive the push notification. Also, we have the option to vibrate. So if we want to vibrate the phone when they receive this notification. We have also, well, the email, if I want to send this to a specific email or a specific user ID. You can add the send push notifications, for example, inside a loop for each user. So you can read multiple users on the database and send a notification for each user from a specific segment. For example, if you want to send the message to all the customers who purchased the last 2 weeks, okay? So you can do it inside a for each function. I'm going to send you how to do it in a moment, okay? So you can specify the user ID or the email. Uses chronometer is to display how much time since you send the notification. If you want to display this information on the notification, you need to send a true. If you don't want to display this information, you can send a false or keep it empty, okay? You have the title. We are reading the title from this control. The icon URL. If you want to send a specific icon to the push notification, so you can add the URL from the image here. And also, if you want to send a big image on the notification, these both options are specifically for Android. iOS doesn't allow to send images on the notifications for now. You can search or upload an image from your computer if you want. Okay, and you have options for Android visibility. You can send as a secret. If you send the notification as a secret, you will see only on the block screen when you receive a notification, but you will not see the detail of the notification. If you send this as a private, you will see only the title. And if you send the push notification as public, you will see the title and the content of the notification always, okay? So these are the options you have. For example, we are going to send a push notification to a specific user, okay? So I'm going to go to the application A and go to members, and you have here the user ID. So on the application B, I'm going to send this push notification to this specific user. So I'm pasting, I'm paste the user ID. So that's all I need to send this notification to this specific user. Okay, so let's test the application. So after I allow to receive push notification, I'm going to open the application B and I'm going to write test push notification content of the notification. Okay, and I'm going to press the send button to send the push notification to the other user, and you will see here on the notification. Well, let me show you. You will see the notification, no? Test push notification. If I send another notification, another notification, and press on send, you see I receive the notification. It's in the same phone, but I can receive. You will receive notification even if the other application is closed. And if I press this push notification that I receive, the application, well, I don't have the other application open, but if I have the application A open, when I press the push notification, I'm going to be redirected to the to this other screen. Okay, you see that I am on this screen. Why I am redirected to this screen? Because when I press this push notification, this process is executed. For example, if I have an alert here, like hi, no? So if I add this function when to the app process that is executed when I receive the push notification. So let's see what happened. First, I'm going to send another push notification, other push example. Press the send button, and you see that here is the notification. In this case, I need to open the other application before press the push notification because I am testing the application. But once the application is published, well, it's not necessary to open the application to press the push notification. Okay, so I'm going to press the push notification here, and you see that this process is executing. So I am receiving the alert, and I am on the page that I am redirecting the user when they press this push notification. Okay, that's the way you execute anything you need from the other application. Okay, so that's basically how you can well, send notifications to other users. Okay, so for example, if you need to send, if you don't know the user ID, well, you can send to all the users. If you want to, all the user who wants to receive a push notification from the application A, well, will receive this notification. But what happens if you need to send the push notification to a specific group of users? Okay, well, the easy way is to have, I'm going to open the database. If you want to know more about the databases, I invite you to check our other YouTube videos in our YouTube channel, where I explain better how you can use the database. But for now, I'm going to create a collection called users. Okay, imagine that you have your collection with all the users. You have the ID of the user, and you have the role, no, or the category, or the age, or all the information you need. Okay, so I'm going to add to this database, well, the ID of the user and the role, like, I don't know, admin, and an age. Okay, and imagine that I have another user with another ID and a role for member and another age. Okay, so you have all your users on your database. Okay, so if I want to send the push notification to all the admins, okay, so I know what users, because I have the ID of the user, and I know they are admins because I have the role here. So instead of do this, I'm going to do it in a process to make this easier to see. So I'm going to create a process to send admin notifications. Okay. So I'm going to create this process to send admin notifications. And first, I'm going to read the database using the read database. It's here. Functions, cloud database, get database, read the database. I'm going to open database browser from the users, but I'm going to filter specifically the role. I'm going to filter the role. So order by, I'm going to write role, and I'm going to filter the admin. Okay, so I'm going to filter only the roles for admins. Okay, so after read all the users which role is an admin, after well, I'm going to do it on end. After do it, I'm going to use the function for each. This is a logic function to do something on each record I have with this characteristic. For each, I'm going to use the information I get from the database, okay? Because I read all the roles from all the users with the role of admin from the database. We can do it sync or async. Async is faster, but all happen at the same time. But for now, it's great. And what is going to happen on each iteration? Because we are reading all the users from the database with a specific role. So on each iteration, I'm going to click here on the callbacks. On each iteration, I'm going to add the function to send a push notification. So I'm going to send a push notification with the body. We can send also the body we have in our page from it's exactly the same. The application we're going to send to the application A we're going to execute the process to redirect the user, the process we just created. But what is the ID of the user? The ID of the user is each ID we have on our database. How we can read it? I'm going to select from the previous outputs for each item dot ID. Why item? Because it's inside each item on the iteration. And dot ID, because ID is the name of the field on the database where we have the ID of the user. Okay. The title is the title we have on our page. If we want to send a big picture or something, I'm going to have this public. Okay. So we're going to send this push notification, and after the notification is sent, well, this is for iteration function. It's important to always send an callback, compute callback to know that this iteration finished. So I'm going to send on compute callback in case of notification sent, and also in case of error. Okay. So this is important. This is because we are inside a for each function. Okay. So that's all. And when it's done, well, we can send, for example, an alert to say notifications sent. Okay. So that's all. This is an example. It's a more complex example where we are reading from the database users with different roles and send a notification to these specific roles. Okay. So we created this process. So instead of use this function to send the push, now we have this process we just created. We created this process here. So I'm going to add this process here. When I press this button, I'm going to execute this process, and inside this process, I'm going to read the database. I'm going to do a for each function, and so I'm going to read each item or each record I have on my database. And on each iteration, I'm going to send a push notification with the message I have entered on the page to the application A. And when they press the notification, a function will be executed. Okay. So that's all. And when it's done, I'm going to receive this message. Okay. That's all. That's all. So let's try it. I'm going to open the application. I'm going to open the application B to send the push notification. Well, just a pro tip. You see that I almost don't see the button to send. To improve that, I'm going to avoid keyboard option on the page. So that looks better now. So new push notification is the title, and the message is this is a test. Okay, I'm going to press the send button, and I'm going to receive this alert notification sent. Okay, so if I go to the application A and I see my phone, you will see that I receive this push notification. No? New push notification, this is a test. If I press this notification, I am redirected. Okay, so this is another use case. I am sending the notification to all the users from the database with a specific role. Okay, but you can do this in many ways. It depends the logic of your application. But this is the basic. But one more thing, if you try to send the notification to a user who doesn't have permissions to receive the notification. For example, imagine that I am going to send the notifications to the members, okay? But, well, I just write a random ID. Obviously, this user doesn't exist. But what happens if I try to send the notification to this member I have on my database? Okay. I'm going to receive test. When I send, I'm going to receive this alert. The target user doesn't have tokens to send push notification. Why I'm receiving this alert? This is because or the user doesn't exist, or the user doesn't have tokens, doesn't allow to receive push notifications. This is going to happen only on testing. When you compile your application and is in production, you will not receive this push notification. It's only to help you with the test, so you know that this user, or at least one of the users who is going to receive, doesn't have the token. It means that you don't complete the request. Okay. When you receive this notification, it means that, well, you log in around, but when you try to send the notification, the user A, the user from the other application, don't allow to receive don't allow you to receive push notification. So it's ending with this message. And when the user allow to receive the notification, well, the process continue, and the user receive the notification, the user press the notification, and the process is executed. Okay, so this is the basics about push notification. If you have questions, well, you can write here on the comments, or also you can send us a message on the chat, or join us the community on community.apphive.io, and well, subscribe to our channel. We're uploading more and more tutorials. If you have more questions, we're happy to send you more tutorials about it. Okay, thank you. Bye.